Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine at home. I think you all are learning your daily lessons, especially yesterday's that definition and meaning of stock exchange. You know what is stock exchange? Where we can buy and sell second-hand securities, isn't it? Stock exchange. Now we are going to learn the next heading: functions of stock exchange. What are the functions of stock exchange? What are the actings they do? What are the work they do? It is a ready and continuous market. Ready and continuous market. Whenever we think to sell or buy, we can sell. So if an investor wants to buy some securities, one who has saved some money, if they want to buy some securities or share from the stock exchange, he can do. So they provide ready market. Because of the stock exchange, we can have ready market and continuous market. Continuously we can buy and sell. Today we can buy, the next day we can sell, again we can buy. Understand? So they provide that easy marketability. That is called easy marketability or liquidity. Marketability, we can buy and sell them. Then liquidity, we can convert them into cash easily. So easy conversion of that cash, that shares into cash or securities into cash. So they provide easy and ready and continuous market. So whenever an investor wants to sell his securities, he can easily do, and whenever he wants to buy some securities or if he wants to convert his shares into cash, he can do it. Understand? That is the first function. Then the second one is correct evaluation of securities. They can evaluate their securities, because in the stock exchange they will display the market quotations. That is the price of the shares. That is called market quotation. Or the price of the securities will be displayed in the stock exchange. We could see that in the TV, if you watched English news or even Tamil news also, they say at the end of each that news bulletin, they will say the news about the stock exchange also, the price of the securities, that different companies' securities will be said. In short, they will say. So in the economic times, if you see that TV, you could see fully that related to stock exchange. Many news will be given. So that since they are displaying the market quotation in the floor or in the stock exchange, everybody can evaluate. They can evaluate that worth of their securities, how much price it is. So if it is their price is increasing, then they will be waiting for that increase to sell their securities. But if the price decrease, they will be planning to buy the securities at low price. Okay, if the price is very high, they will be planning to sell them to earn more amount. Okay, so they will evaluate. So every investor can evaluate his own securities by the price which is displayed in the stock exchange. So that is another function, correct evaluation of securities. Then protection to investors. How they are protecting the investors? Because all the dealings in the stock exchange is governed by the rules and regulations that they have framed and the guidelines of SEBI, rules and regulations that were framed by the stock exchange and the guidelines of SEBI. They have well-defined rules and regulations. They cannot frame their own rules. Each member in the stock exchange cannot make his own rule, but already well-planned rules and regulations are there. As per their rules only, they have to deal with the securities. So, any broker or any commission agents, they cannot receive more commission. More commission cannot be charged from the dealers. More commission cannot be charged. There will be a limit which is mentioned in the rules and regulations. Only that commission must be charged on the for their service, but they cannot charge for more commission. Or if there is any malpractice, any fraud is done in the floor of stock exchange, that will be punished severely by the rules and regulation of stock exchange and SEBI. Okay, so there is some protection for the, not some protection, there may be fraud and malpractice. So to great extent, these investors are protected. Okay, then the fourth function is proper channelization of capital. Proper channelization of capital. Here, the investors, or we can say the public, who likes to invest money in the companies, that means the prospective investors. If any interested public, those who are interested in investing in the companies, they can invest in companies which yield more profit. Because all these public, the whole public is watching the TV and they are finding out the because we have learnt already, isn't it? The market quotation. Each company's price will be displayed in the market quotation, so they can evaluate how much is the price, which company's value, price, that share is having more value. Only in that particular company only this public will be interested in investing. So they are getting a good knowledge. So the public is investing their money in the stock exchange is channelizing that investment, or that capital formation is done properly. Okay. The fifth one is aid to capital formation. Aid to capital formation. It is related to the fourth point. Since all the investors are investing in companies, those who earn more profit, so that capital formation takes place for the economic development. They never keep their money idle at home or in the piggy banks, but they invest their savings in the companies, those who earn more profit. So this lead to capital formation of the country, because they are investing in industries where they need financial assistance. Okay, so capital formation is formed. Sixth one, facilities for speculation. Yesterday I explained about speculation. But that speculation can be encouraged to some extent in the stock exchange because they they keep these securities for some time in their hands. And what is the benefit of this speculation? Because they control the demand and supply. Yesterday I told you, when there is more demand, they will not supply the product. They will be keeping at home in the warehouse or godown. And once it is the price goes up high, only then the supply they will do. They will release the products. So the supply and demand will be balanced. There may not be, if they do not release that product, what will happen? There won't be any supply, isn't it? So when there is demand, they are supplying, they are releasing the products slowly. The same thing is happening in the stock exchange also. So when there is more demand, they will release the share. So the demand will go low. So the demand will be not very high because they increase the supply slowly. Okay. Then the price movement will also be not very high. If there is no supply, only the price will be very high. But if they supply as per the demand in the market, then the price movement will be curtailed. It will be reduced. Okay. Then the next one, 7th one, seasoning of securities. Here the speculator, related to the 6th point, what they do? Here the speculators and the underwriters, speculators in the stock exchanges and underwriters. Remember, somewhere I have explained this on underwriters, those who help in the issue of securities for the first time. So the whole share will be held by the underwriters, and here in the stock exchanges they hold the securities. So speculators and underwriters, they hold the securities temporarily in their hands. And when there is that, when the public or the investors, those who are ready to purchase them, they will release those securities. Okay, that is seasoning of securities. They are not on season, off season. So for example, we can say during Christmas time there will be on season, isn't it? So many people will be going and purchasing new dress during Pongal also. Then after Pongal, then there won't be any purchase in the market, in the shops and all. There will be off season. But here in this stock exchange, what they do? These speculators and underwriters will hold the securities during the off season, and they will release the securities during the on season. So that is called seasoning of securities. Okay, then next the 8th point, clearing house of business information. We know this listed companies have to provide many information to the stock exchange, because all the listed companies, they have to furnish some details to the stock exchange relating to the capital management, regarding capital. How much is the equity capital, how much is the preference share capital, then how much is the debentures. All this detail is called capital management. Then dividend distribution. Dividend, I told you, that profit, one income that is given on the investment by the owners. But that means one return from investment. investment is called share, isn't it? So if you invest in the money in the share, we will get dividend. So that rate also will be mentioned. That should be revealed. Okay, so capital management, dividend distribution, then copies of documents, financial documents, financial statements, then all the annual reports, whatever they ask, the stock exchange demand for these records, they have to submit and they have to provide this information to the stock exchange. So the stock exchange is publishing this details, capital management, dividend distribution, copies of financial statement, annual report, any other, maybe the audit report. That financial statement means the profit and loss account, balance sheet. So we can have a full information about the companies, how much profit they earn, what is its financial position, whether it is sound or very weak. All these we can come to know. So it gives more information to the investing public, whether they have to invest in that particular company, because all the information they are providing in the premises of stock exchange. So we have learned around 8 functions. Now we will learn the features of stock exchange. I told you when I explained the definition, if you remember that the last definition given by Securities Contract Act 1956, there we have learnt the first one is association of persons. Do you remember that one? We can write first. Okay, association of persons. Only then it will be in order, sequence. Okay. So simply you can write stock exchange is an association of persons, or body of individuals. That is why I told you to learn the last definition. Okay, so stock exchange is an association of persons or body of individuals, whether it is incorporated or not, isn't it? That you can write, whether it is incorporated or not. So we can write in other words, which may be registered or unregistered. Incorporated means registered or unregistered. Okay, that is the first feature of stock exchange. All these are the long answers. Okay, these functions. One question, first question, function is the first question. Then feature is the second question. Okay, learn fully. That's why I am explaining now. Stock exchange is an association of persons or body of individuals which may be registered or unregistered. Very easy one. Second one, recognition from central government. Simply they cannot register. Okay, recognition from central government. It must be recognized. It must be organized. It should get the recognition from the central government. Only then they can start their function. Okay, so the stock exchange must be recognized by the central government, because it is an organized market. It must be recognized by the central government. Then third one, working as per rules. How it is working? These 3 points are the sixth, seventh and eighth point. Okay, sixth, seventh and eighth point. Whenever I am explaining, you can refer in the book also. Then you will understand, and afterwards it will be easy for you to learn. Okay, so that one, working as per rules. Here, as per which rules it is working? All the transactions of the stock exchange. What are the transactions? Buying and selling, isn't it? All the transactions of stock exchange is governed by rules and regulations of stock exchange, rules and regulations of stock exchange, and the guidelines of SEBI. In the functions we learned, isn't it? So, working as per rules, that all the transactions are buying and selling, the transactions of stock exchange is governed by the rules and regulations of stock exchange as well as the guidelines of SEBI. Here they cannot deviate any rules and regulation. Okay, so it is working as per the rules and regulations. So you can write in simple sentence, here from the heading, that all the workings in the stock exchange is as per the rules and regulations of stock exchange and as per the guidelines of SEBI. Also that also you can write. Okay, your own words, but it must be correct. Now now we will come from the beginning. That first point is market for securities. Stock exchange is a market, stock market, share market we say, isn't it? So it is a market for securities. We know stock exchange is a market for what? What securities? Securities of corporate bodies, corporate companies. Understand? Not small companies, corporate companies. Then government and semi-government bodies. Government and semi-government bodies. Here, what they purchase and sell? They purchase and sell the securities of corporate bodies, government and semi-government bodies. Okay, so that is the point given there first. Market for securities. Stock exchange is a market for securities of corporate bodies, government and semi-government bodies. Okay, deals in second-hand securities. It deals in that you can write stock exchanges deal in second-hand securities, not the securities which are issued in the primary market. That means all the shares, then debentures, bonds which are issued first in the already issued in the primary market are bought and sold in the secondary market. That is why it is also called as secondary market. Okay, shares, debentures, bonds which are issued in the primary market. In the primary market are bought and sold in the are bought and sold means dealt with, isn't it? Bought and sold in the secondary market. In the stock exchange you can write. So it is also called secondary market. Okay, so it is also called secondary market. Okay, because they deal in second-hand securities. Stock exchanges deal in second-hand securities. what is the meaning? The shares, debentures and bonds which are issued in the primary market are bought and sold in the stock exchange. So it is also called as secondary market. They deal in second-hand securities. Okay, second-hand securities, that is why it is also called secondary market. Regulates trade in securities. Regulates trade in securities. Here, the stock exchange never buy and sell securities on their own. They never buy, that the stock exchange has bought this many securities, it is selling this many securities. No. It is regulating the trade in securities. Okay, they are regulating the trade. They never buy and sell. The stock exchanges, they do not buy and sell securities in its own name, but its own account or in its own name, but they facilitate, they provide some facilities to buy and sell. For whom? The public, or for the investors through the members or brokers in the stock exchange. Members are brokers or commission agents in the stock exchange. Understand? They never buy and sell the securities in its own name, but they provide some facilities to buy and sell the second-hand securities through the members or brokers for the public. And that means they are regulating the trade that is happening in the stock exchange. Understood? They help the public to buy and sell. That is why regulates trade in securities. Seventh one, allows deals only in listed securities. Listed securities means the securities of listed companies. Okay, what is listed companies? I have explained you already. Listed companies, that name of the companies which is listed in the official list of the stock exchange. Understand? The stock exchange will have one official list. Many lists will be there. In that list, that particular company's name will be entered. That companies are called listed companies. Understood? In the stock exchange, one list will be displayed, official list. If the particular company's name is entered in the official list, only those companies can trade in the stock through the stock exchange. Otherwise, other companies are not allowed. That means unlisted companies are not allowed to trade in securities in the stock exchange. That's why that's given. Allows deals only in listed companies, listed securities. So listed companies securities only are allowed to trade in the stock exchange. Unlisted companies cannot trade in securities in the stock exchange. Understood? That means the official list of stock exchange only listed companies. The next one, transactions effected through members. That in the sixth point itself we learned, isn't it? All the transactions are effected only through members. Here, through members means we can say the authorized brokers and members. Authorized clerks we can say. Authorized clerks and members. jobbers, brokers, all these, some authorized people are there. They have the authority to buy and sell. That's authorized. Authorized brokers. Okay. So all the transactions in the stock exchanges are effected only through these members. The members are the authorized clerks and members. So any outsiders are not allowed to trade in securities in the stock exchange. Okay, outsiders are not allowed to trade in securities. So if any investor want to sell or buy securities, whom they have to contact? Only the members of the stock exchange. The members of the stock exchanges are the authorized clerks and members. Okay. Now, specific location. Specific location. Here, one location there where these authorized members and these clerks will be there. Only in that particular place, only one floor will be given. Okay. They can do the trading only on a particular floor where these authorized clerks and members are there. Only in that floor they are allowed to trade in securities. Understood? There only the prices of the securities will be displayed. Maybe the official, that means the list also will be displayed, the listed securities. So everything will be displayed on the electronic board. Electronic board. Automatically it will be displayed. Okay. That we could see in the TV news also. Better you watch the English news. Better that Economic Times. There you could see this news about stock exchange. Bombay Stock Exchange or any other stock exchange also. So here everything is controlled by computers. Okay. Everything is controlled because now everything is on electronic mode, isn't it? Computers. Through computers also everything is controlled. So everything, the prices also displayed through the electronic board. Then one particular floor only we can trade securities. There is a specific location for the authorized brokers and members to sell the securities of the stock exchange. Okay. The last one is financial barometers. Financial barometers. This barometer means we can measure our financial position of this whole country also, because we too have heard that the stock exchange, stock market in foreign countries has gone down. That is why this inflation has taken place. Stock market has gone down. Why? If the stock market is functioning properly, only then the country is considered as developed. If the stock market is broken, then we can say that the economy is also broken. So that industrial growth or stability, then that the economy of a nation is measured. That is why the stock market is considered as the barometer to measure the financial position of any country. That means the economy of a country is measured by the stock exchange. Stock exchange is acting as a barometer. Barometer means the measuring instrument. Understand? It is acting as the barometer to measure the economy of a nation, whether the economy is developed or no. To measure the economy of a nation. Okay, if the stock market is good, no, only then we can say okay that Indian economy is also stable. But if that stock market, the values of the that shares are differing or going very low, then we can say our economy is not stable. Okay, so it is acting as the barometer to measure the economy of a nation. I think you might have understood all the 10 points. This one is the that long answer, that one second question's answer. Okay, all the 10 points you have to learn. If at all you are not able to learn all the 10 points, you can learn any 5 points with the, at least 2 points you have to write under each heading. Okay. Study well, students, and don't keep these lessons for the next day. Okay, learn the daily lessons, and if you have any doubt, you ask me, and whether what I am teaching is eligible for you, or can you hear the audio. If it is not hearable, then you can tell me to say it louder. Okay, then whatever be the suggestion, you tell me through phone. Thank you, students.